Once upon a time, kings and queens lived in palaces, and the nobles and the rich tried to emulate them in luxury. Since then, many years have passed, land has become more expensive, palaces have gone out of fashion, and living in them by modern standards is uncomfortable, but the desire to stand out remains. What kind of buildings do the rich and famous build for themselves, and where do they prefer to live? Let's take a look at the top 10 most expensive homes in the world, both inhabited and for sale. Before you start, don't forget to subscribe and like, and we will be very pleased if you leave a comment and subscribe to our channel. Well, let's go. Fairfield Pond, United States, opens the list of the most expensive houses in the world at a price of $249 million, a giant palace the size of almost half a hectare. It is located on Long Island, New York. By size, the estate occupies a modest 19th place among the largest homes in the United States, but its location makes it one of the most expensive. There are few places in New York, and it is expensive. Owns a Fairfield Ira Renard. No, this is not a girl Eroshka, but quite a solid gentleman born in 1934. Being 65 years old, he decided to buy some land and build a mansion. Although the neighbors violently protested against the construction, the industrial magnate was still able to insist on his own, although in a smaller size than originally planned. As a result, Long Island is gracing a giant 29-bedroom, 39-bath home with its own small power plant, 3 pools, a greenhouse, a 164-seat home theater, and 1 synagogue. However, it is not cheap to own it. Renard pays more than $40,000 in taxes every month. Malakai Ranch, USA. If a rich man is misanthropic and doesn't want to see people, except the staff, of course, then he retreats to places like a ranch on the island of Molokai, Haiti. It is simply created for millionaires who prefer huge deserted spaces to the urban bustle. It occupies more than a third of the island's surface, and its area is equal to 22.5 hectares. Worth $260 million. These hectares include a coastline of almost 32 kilometers long, snow-white, sun-drenched beaches with views of colorful reefs, rainforests, and rocky cliffs. There are 2 golf courses, 1 hotel, and an entire working ranch about the size of a half-acre. The well-known Mark Zuckerberg considered buying the ranch himself, but in the end decided to settle on another Hawaiian island, Kauai. Penthouse on top of the Odeon skyscraper, Monaco. In 2014, the penthouse was put up for sale, and it immediately attracted attention, both for its rooftop price, as well as for its stunning views and original architectural design. The cost of this building is $330 million. The modest apartment is located at the top of the Odeon skyscraper and occupies the top 5 floors. Its area is 3,300 square meter. There are 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. The creators decided not to sacrifice the view, so the walls of the apartment on each floor, 1 solid window. And being in the center of the room, you can literally view the surrounding area. But the most impressive feature of the house is the water slide, where guests can jump directly from the dance floor into the huge outdoor pool, which offers stunning views of the Mediterranean Sea. Chartwell Estate, USA. To this day, the Chartwell Estate confidently holds the palm among the most expensive homes in the United States. The cost is $350 million. This is really a real estate, designed by the architect Sumner Spalding on the example of the best examples of architecture in France of the 18th century. The white and gray limestone-clad house of classic proportions stands in the middle of the well-maintained park with gazebos, paths, fountains, tennis courts, a giant swimming pool and parking for 40 cars. The popular 60s TV show The Beverly Hillbillies was filmed in the house. Later, it was bought by the head of Univision, to whom, in fact, we owe the excellent preservation of the estate. He spent several million to restore and modernize Chartwell. Don't forget to subscribe and we'll move on. Cedar Villa, France. Real estate on the Côte d'Azur has long been a subject of dreams for the rich from all countries. But this was not always the case. Cedar Villa, located on the coast of St. Jean-Cap-Ferrat, worth $418 million in the early 19th century, began as a simple working farm for the production of olive oil. 300-year-old olive trees can still be seen on the territory of the villa. Now, instead of an oil press, the courtyard is decorated with a bronze statue of the goddess Athena, and winding paths under the shade of palms and cedars lead to the imposing citadel. Inside, it is full of chandeliers, portraits of the 19th century and all the things that the average person associates with the castle of the monster from the Disney cartoon. In addition to the Empire-style chairs, the palace also has a library, which boasts a 1640 edition of the Botanical Codex. By the way, furniture and household items are not included in the sale price. If desired, they can be purchased separately. Palace of Bubbles, France. Moving on to cartoons, the inspiration for creating the most expensive homes in the world was drawn from various sources. Most of all, the Bubble Palace resembles the quasi-primitive home of the Flintstones from the children's animated film of the same name. Imagine a fun cluster of spherical structures with the same round windows, doors, and other architectural details. Don't they look a lot like bubbles? A little reconciles with the riot of form, a pleasant soft terracotta color of buildings and elegant white edging. The size of the house is about 1,200 square meters, and it has everything you need even for the most demanding rich man, including a swimming pool and an outdoor amphitheater with 500 seats. It was where the Dior fashion show was held, and the 40th anniversary of the birth of James Bond was celebrated, and the cost is estimated at $418 million. Middle Gap Road, 24, Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a densely populated area and land is expensive. At the price per square meter, this city-state is in second place, second only to Monaco. It is not surprising that a large house located on the top of a picturesque mountain came in fourth place in the list of the most expensive real estate, the cost of which is $446 million. Although in comparison with the samples presented in the rating, it looks, frankly, nondescript. It has only 2 floors, 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. In the backyard there is a swimming pool, which is hidden from indiscreet eyes by a dense growth of trees. Villa Leopold, France. This huge estate, worth $750 million, is located near Villefranche-sur-Mer, a city on the French Riviera. Its size is just over 7 hectares, which is lined with rare varieties of marble palace with 19 bedrooms, fireplaces, swimming pools, a cinema and a bowling alley. Palace, the word is not accidental. Once the estate was owned by the Belgian King Leopold II, under whose wise rule the population of the Congo was reduced by half, but the production of rubber increased 200 times. Now the most expensive villa in the world belongs to Lily Safra, a Brazilian millionaire who inherited it from her deceased husband. Interestingly, the villa dreamed of taking over the Russian oligarch Mikhail Porokov, who even started negotiations with Lily, but something went wrong. Prokhorov himself says that he was affected by the 2008 crisis. Evil tongues also claim that Prokhorov was mortally offended by the French state. There he was arrested by the police for transporting girls with reduced social responsibility to Courchevel. The millionaire insisted that they were just beautiful girls who had voluntarily decided to keep him company. As if it wasn't, but after you have already made advance, Prokhorov backed out of the deal. And Safra promised to spend this advance on various charitable purposes. Antilia, India. In second place among the most expensive residential buildings in the world is an entire tower that rises above ordinary mortals in South Mumbai. Its owner is the richest man in India named Mukesh Ambani. The tower accommodates 27 floors, and at the height of the ceilings, the architects did not save money. The same height of buildings with standard ceilings would be 60 stories. 600 employees are required to operate the building's services and ensure the comfort of the billionaire and his family. The palace tower has 3 helipads, a giant parking lot for 160+ cars and its own car service. Mukesh does not forget about culture. The building has a theater, ballroom, spa and swimming pools. The cost of such a building is $1 billion. Not all Indians welcome the creation of this gigantic monument to wealth. In a country with the largest slums in Asia, where 42% of children under the age of 5 are underweight, building such a tower is not the smartest thing to do. Some have already hinted that this is how revolutions happen. Buckingham Palace, England. And in the first place in the ranking is comfortably located Buckingham Palace, the most expensive house in the world, worth $1.550 billion. The photo clearly shows both the old and beautiful building itself, and the crowds of tourists scurrying back and forth every day. However, if you look from the front, the full-face palace really embodies the best traditions of classicism. Its facade pleases the eye with its noble proportions. But at the back, where the owners of the royal blood ordered to build all sorts of necessary and useful structures in the economy, the view is not so good. No wonder the British newspaper The Guardian called it one of the ugliest structures in the world. Apparently, journalists were not too lazy to go around the house. Since 1761, Buckingham Palace has been in the undivided use of the British royal family. It is currently the official residence of the reigning Queen Elizabeth II. So this was the top 10 most expensive homes in the world. Our team hopes that you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to leave your comments and suggestions for the next video. We try our best for you. Let's be friends together. Thank you for watching, see you later.